it's...
I'll answer both of these questions with the problem of depression. Like, one, okay, I'm a Spinozist. I don't believe in free will as superstition. There's no such thing as free will. And that's very key to the Kabbalist ideology is free will. But that's not to say there's no agency, but agency isn't the same as free will. I believe in the great paradox from Spinoza that human beings are most in bondage when they think they're most free. Human beings are most compulsive, when they think they're being free. And that I think from Spinoza, the standard picture you get is, but what is it to be a normal human being? It's to be the victim of compulsions of various kinds. Okay? Freedom is an achievement. This is a point, this is a great value of Spinoza's thought. Freedom is, it's not like Rousseau or something like that, where you start off free and then, you're put into bondage by society, etc., etc. For Spinoza, you start off as an infant in a state of radical abjection, and, what does that mean? What is that you cannot connect cause and effect? You have to learn that. For infants are bombarded with this kind of dreamy chaos of stimuli, which doesn't. They have to learn to make into cause and effect. For Spinoza, freedom is the capacity to recognize the causal factors which impinge upon you. You become free only by recognizing the extent to which you're determined. The dominant neoliberal kind of model is to completely obfuscate all that. And so you're just free. And it's these lefties, bureaucrats who want to control you and stop you. We just appeal to your free choice. What if there's free choice? Why is the Microsoft Word? The shittest fucking software thing ever. This is why. And if there's free choice, why do capitalists spend so much money on advertising and branding? Because they know that people, what they can appeal to, the very thing that most controls people, is the appeal to the people's freedom, etc., etc. What inaugurates the world we live in now? 1984, the Apple advert, the famous Apple advert directed by Ridley Scott, which said, which was about if you've not seen this, you should see it. It's a really quite impressive piece of work by Ridley Scott, where you have, this world, clearly based on Orwell, with these kind of grey drones sitting around, and along comes this kind of woman dressed in Apple colours, who's an athlete who throws this hammer into the big grey, dismal control screens, which both represent kind of IBM, those kind of big monolithic, forms of kind of old school technology companies, and also kind of the Soviet system or whatever. They're compacted together as representing the old world. The new world will be one where you're free to choose, where no one can tell you what to do. But why? But we're in a world where people are habituated kind of behaviours to an unbelievable degree. I'd say there is a difference between my generation and young people, and that's simply that young people are deprived of things that I had. They're deprived of time, they're deprived of an immense kind of cultural resource, of a vibrant kind of public service broadcasting that was in place in somewhere like the UK in the 70s and 80s, which I took for granted. There's a very kind of serious music press, which I took for granted. All of these things, that's what made me what I am today. That's made me be able to come and speak here today. In addition to kind of full grants, lack of precarity, etc., etc. I had that, you don't have it. You've been deprived and it's been stolen from you. And so what is the objective marker of this? Is the amount of depression amongst young people, which is increasing all of the time. If young people are so happy in this new world, and why are they so depressed? And I would say, depression, just finally, depression, which many young people suffer from, is the evidence of Spinoza, the accuracy of Spinoza's thought, that no one chooses to be depressed, as it were. And when you are depressed, that you can't really choose your way out of this. That there's a kind of series of blocks, impasses, etc., which you can't get out of. And, so it's mere voluntarism, mere choice is not enough. And the final thing is then, that doesn't mean there's no agency though, but it means that, you know, it's only in very rare cases where we're out of the normal inundated flow where we're able to exert agency. I mean, the reason that is because I'd had a kind of mini breakdown, actually, over the summer, that I was able to get out of certain kind of habits and reimpose new habits. Because of the ceaseless flow, and also because, you know, I thought a lot about it, but who was thinking about it's no good, you know, because I was not able to act on it because I was under constant inundated pressure at all times. I was only able to act when there was a kind of breakdown. And I think that, you know, that because of the constant inundated pressure on the social brain all the time, that the capacity for that at a collective level is very limited. But that doesn't mean it couldn't happen. But I think we need to find a break somehow in this endless flow, inundated flow, in order that we can have agency as opposed to the illusion of free choice.
But yes, okay, then I do believe and I do agree